In this part of the lecture, we will discuss about the development of writing, which is the first method known for storing the information. It is going to be very interesting to know how it started and how we see it today. Humans have been storing, retrieving, manipulating, and communicating information since time immemorial, which is called prehistoric era. The Asians in India and China more than 8000 BC and Sumerians in Mesopotamia nearly 5000 BC have been knowing systematic writing. The term information technology appeared for the first time in 1958 in an article by Harold J. Levi and Thomas L. Whistler published in Harvard Business Review. Based on the storage and processing technologies employed, it is possible to distinguish four distinct phases of IT development. First is the pre-mechanical era, which lasted between 10,000 BC to 1450 AD. Then came the mechanical era, which lasted between 1450 to 1840 AD. And then came the electromechanical era, which lasted between 1840 AD to 1940 AD, and the electronic era, which started from 1940 and continues till present. During the pre-mechanical era of prehistoric times, the main methods of collecting, interpreting, and storing information were, but not limited to, counting on fingers and pebbles, hash marks on the walls of the caves, cliff, mud, or stone dwelling, hash marks on sand and earth. The main methods of writing during the prehistoric times and early civilization days were cave paintings and drawings. The human dwellings in the caves did know about ink and method to draw structures using some stylus or reed-like apparatus. In the earliest four distinct civilizations, namely Indus Valley civilizations in India, Yellow River civilization of China, Nile River civilization in Egypt, and Mesopotamian civilization that formed on the banks of Tigris and Euphrates, independently developed their own materials and methods of writing and storing information. Before we begin to learn about the systematic writing methods of manuscripts, we can take a look how early writing methods look like. Of many examples, I have chosen here two of the oldest cave paintings for the reference. The first one is Bhimbetka cave paintings in India, and Bhimbetka caves are found to have sheltered human beings for more than 100,000 years. Some of the paintings found here are as old as 30,000 years. Second example is of archaeological site of Kakadu National Park in Australia, which are known to have sheltered human beings for about 40,000 years. The Aboriginal people still live there, although they have changed a lot to resonate with the modern day life, but many of their customs are still age old. The striking features in these paintings is the ink material, which have lasted for so long and is still existing. Another pattern of rock arts or cave arts is the petroglyphs. These are images created by carving or abrading the rock surface to make structures or designs. These engravings give an idea of tool-making skills of the early human beings and how sharp those were to create precise designs. In ancient Chinese civilization, writings on bones have been found which are approximately 3000 years old. Alternately, some pottery inscriptions are also found which are approximately 6000 years old. Ancient Chinese discovered the method of tying knots to the ropes for keeping records for counting. Here we can see the known history of development of writing in different civilizations. The Mesopotamian writing system of petroglyphs influenced Egypt's Nile River civilization writing system, hieroglyphs and hieroglyphs. It is also known to influence the writing system in Asia Minor and cuneiform writing system. The Indus Valley writing system is known to be much older and birthplace of fired clay tablets as trade seals and palm leaf manuscripts. The Chinese civilization writing system is equivalently antique and have known to discover diverse writing surfaces from bones, wood, silk, and paper. Now we can see these writing systems one by one. Ancient Mesopotamian civilization developed the method of cuneiform writing system. Cuneiform means wedge-shaped. They used reed stylus cuts to make wedge-shaped marks on the clay tablets and bake them to store information. Here are some images showing different kinds of reed stylus and methods of writing. At first, images are drawn with a pointed end of a reed or wood stylus, and cuneiform images are created by impressing the edge of a stylus into the clay. Next, we shall see how the methods of writing that Indus Valley civilization developed. They also used tablet designs for trade and administration seals. Apart from this, they developed the palm leaf for making writing surface. Although very old evidences are not found, but the records written on these manuscripts indicating astronomical dating system and proven to have written some 6 to 8,000 years ago. Many of these manuscripts are under research to find out exactly how old are these. Here in this slide we can see the making of palm leaf manuscript. The steps are as follows. The selected varieties of palm are Palmyra palm, Talipot palm or fan palm. A typical palm leaf text used to last between a few decades to about 600 years, therefore needs to be rewritten again and again. For the purpose of making a writing surface, a young leaf bud is cut from the tree. The folds are opened and separated by cutting with a sharp knife. The hard edges or quills are then removed to obtain soft and flexible stripes which can be rolled in a circular form and tied together as shown in the picture. In the next step, a paste of medicinal herbs is made by pounding the ingredients together and boiled with water in a large pot. The palm leaf rolls are put in this pot and boiled for 5 to 7 hours. The rolls are then opened and hung on a string for drying. The stripes are dried for 7 to 8 days away from direct sunlight to prevent them from getting black. The dried stripes are then pulled back and forth across a cylindrical wooden surface to render them smooth and uniform. A desired size is then cut from these smoothened stripes. The leaves are then held together and fixed across a wooden base and singed with a hot iron to smooth the edges and burn out the irregularities. The leaves are then strung together by punching a hole using a sharp-pointed steel or copper needle. Below is the picture of needle and its casing. The leaf stripes are now stacked together and encased inside wooden casing and tied with threads. This is now ready for supply for writing scripts. Here we see the method of writing on a palm leaf. The leaf is held between the fingers and the letters are carved and etched with a sharp pointed stylus, and then the ink is smeared over the surface. Ink is made of charcoal or carbon black or lamp black and mixed with a resinous oil. The surface is then wiped with a muslin cloth piece, and then the surface is cleaned by rubbing chipped rice bran and a cleaned leaf with darkened and highlighted manuscript is shown in the picture below. A darkened and highlighted manuscript leaf after cleaning by shift rice bran smearing and wiping is shown here in the picture. The manuscript leaflets are further treated with preservatives for long shelf life. Preservation often utilized uses of walnut fruit, artemisia oil, cinnamon oil, equisetum stem, circum roots, rhizophora leaf, tobacco leaf, and bigartic plant oil. The manuscript written in the leaves are then tied together and tied with a string and encased with a wooden encasing. Here in the picture below, a stack of manuscript in a library shelf is shown. Here are a collection of pictures of a stylus used for writing, and another picture of painting made on a palm leaf surface is shown. Another writing surface material used in ancient Indian subcontinent were obtained from Himalayan birch tree. The bark are quite large in size, ideal for preparing a larger writing surface. Next in the list is the papyrus paper. This writing surface was popular in ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Middle Eastern regions of Asia. This writing material is made from papyrus plant, as shown in the picture. The stalks are cut from the plant and peeled out. The outer layer of the stalk is peeled out with a sharp knife. Different styles of peeling the papyrus stalks is shown in the picture. The thin slices of papyrus strips are then soaked in water for 72 hours or 3 days. The soaked strips are then laid on a hard plain surface and rolled over using a rolling pin. This process removes excess water and sugar present in the tissues. The stripes are now ready for weaving, and different styles of weaving are shown here in the picture. Now the woven papyrus sheets is layered between the linen sheets and kept under heavy load so as to create sufficient pressure to flatten the stripes. The linen is then removed and the sheet is dried between the folds of dried linen and then again rolled by the rolling pin. This second rolling allows the carbohydrates present in the papyrus to fuse together and remain intertwined. In the final step, ivory powder or a smooth stone is rubbed on the surface of this papyrus sheet so as to develop a shiny, smoother and nicer surface. A desired size is then cut out of this sheet. This papyrus paper sheet is now ready to write on. A much simplified reed pens are used for writing with ink. Here are some examples of writing and painting and making drawings on a papyrus sheet by the reed. The ancient art of making papyrus paper sheets have been revived in several villages in Egypt, and now it is a major tourist attraction among the travelers who go to Egypt and see this ancient art. The paintings depicted historical events in ancient Egypt are favorite items for sale and tourist souvenirs. Now we shall continue to our next part to learn about parchment paper making and the Chinese paper making. Let's continue to the part 6 of this lecture.